How's it going, guys? It's Ryusen here, and today I've got a special video for you showing you how to complete all of the hunts in Epic 7, both Hell Hunt and Otherworldly Hunt, with just 7 heroes that are elites for PvE efficiency. So we're going to start with Wyvern Hell Hunt, and I'm going to walk you through the build that you need to use for every hero, as well as their artifacts and their gear. So first, let's start with Conqueror Lilius here. You'll notice that Conqueror Lilius is on 240 speed set, health set, 200 effect resistance, 85 effectiveness, and Cradle of Life artifact. This is the stat distribution you want to aim for, and Conqueror Lilius is a free hero for your second Moonlight Blessing. After Conqueror Lilius, we have Ken. You'll notice that he has about 19,000 HP, 216 speed, 240 crit damage, 85 effectiveness, Daydream Joker, and you want the exclusive equipment that allows him to dual attack with the highest attack ally on your team. You don't need immunity, I just have immunity because the immunity set has a lot of effectiveness substats. Next up, you have Sigrid, and you'll notice that Sigrid is on Destruction set and the mix set for the right side. The exclusive equipment to give her is the one that increases her bleed chance for the skill 1, and she has Daydream Joker maxed out. You notice that we don't have a crit damage necklace because we have crit damage sets, destruction set, so it's all attack percent right side gear. And finally, we have Watcher Shuri, who is going to be on rage set and critical set. The exclusive equipment doesn't really matter, but the skill nullifier is nice in case RNG doesn't go your way. And we are going to start the first Hell Hunt run and show you how stable this team is. And what's really nice is that you could use the same exact team with the same exact stat distribution without switching gear or artifact between Hell Hunt and Otherworldly Hunt, so it's nice and efficient. This will also apply for the other hunts that we're going to do. As you can see from the video's title, we have 7 heroes that we're using for all 5 hunts, or I guess 10 hunts if you count 5 hunts for Hell and 5 hunts for Otherworldly Hunt. So 7 units is all you need to clear both Hell and Otherworldly Hunt for every single hunt content in the game. You notice that Ken here got the turn before Lilius, even though he's slower than Lilius, and that's because he got speed buff last turn. And we already have 2 debuffs on the dragon, so we don't need to worry about him attacking anybody else. That's the reason why we have Lilius on Cradle of Life and Ken on a build that has a lot of effectiveness, because debuffs are important to land on the Wyvern boss. Now, this is not a one-shot hunt by any means, but it is definitely a speedy clear that mitigates the amount of RNG you may encounter, hence improving the chances that you clear without worrying about your hunts failing. Wyvern down, so let's collect our reward of 2 Covenant bookmarks and proceed to the next fight. So now we're going to try the Otherworldly Hunt. You see that in this one, the Wyvern takes the first turn. Lilius doesn't get pushed back because she has 200 effect resistance. She uses her skill 3, which gives vigor to the team. And she lands the defense break. Even if she doesn't land the defense break, since Ken has a vigor buff, he's going to defense break when he uses skill 2 and brings in Sigrid for the dual attack. Watcher Shuri is going to do a lot of damage because he's on rage set and the boss is debuffed. Sigrid's going to use her skill 3 here with 3 debuffs. If he had 4 debuffs, he would die. So this shows you that even if RNG doesn't go perfectly in your favor in terms of debuffs, the run is still pretty fast and stable. And just like that, we're done with both Wyvern Hell and Wyvern Otherworldly Hunt, using the same exact team for both hunt difficulty levels. Let me just sell this gear here. I'm going to keep the ones that have speed substats, and we're going to move on to Golem Hunt now. So for Golem Hunt, we're still going to use Watcher Shuri. I'm not going to show his build, but here we have Vivian. So Vivian's going to be on speed set and torrent set. You're going to want her to have the exclusive equipment that increases combat readiness when she uses her 3rd skill. And you're going to want to give her Time Matter. Time Matter is not negotiable here. It's very important for many different mechanics and different boss stages when you're fighting in Hell. And it's just a very good artifact to use for Vivian. Next up, we have Charles at this stat line. You're going to want him Destruction and Crit. Symbol of Unity is the best artifact to use. If you use Daydream Joker for the other hunt stages, it's going to mess up the run, so stick with Symbol of Unity. And we're going to use the exclusive equipment that increases his damage for his second skill. And the last unit that we're going to use is going to be Lilibet. She's going to be on Destruction set and Torrent set. Give her a plus 30 Daydream Joker. And make sure that she has the exclusive equipment that increases her damage for her third skill. Give her max Molas, 4100 attack, 350 crit damage, and let her go crazy. If you happen to have any health substats in her gear, just swap them out for flat attack, and you're good to go. Vivian at 241 speed is really important because you want her to take the turn before the monsters in the first round. And then her giving attack buff to Charles allows him to kill off 2 of the monsters here, and then Vivian can finish off the monsters. Though if you have a max Symbol of Unity, Charles should be able to clear the monsters in the first round with no problem for the Golem hunt. And Lilibet gives the almost finishing blow. Watch your sure he's going to finish up here, and Hell Golem is finished just like that. Alright, let's sell this gear, and let's go to Golem Otherworldly Hunts. Same team, no gear swaps, no artifact swaps, just peace of mind clearing this essential PvE content. As you can see, Vivian still takes the first turn, sets up Charles and the rest of the team with the attack buff. Vivian takes the turn again because she has that combat readiness push for her exclusive equipment. Lilibet goes in and does massive damage to the boss. Watcher Shuri doesn't quite finish the boss here, but that's alright. We have immunity, so we don't get stunned by the Golem. And when the Golem attacks everybody, Charles has enough buffs for him to counterattack. And since he has more than 3 buffs, he's going to use his Smash. Charles goes again, and Otherworldly Golem goes down. Alright, let's check our rewards. Let me sell some gear here. Let's see, did we get anything good for the red gear? Not really. But this weapon has speed, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, moving on to Banshee hunts. I'm going to go ahead and do the run because you've already seen the stats for all 7 heroes for this video. So just like in the Golem run, Vivian takes the first turn here, gives attack buff to the entire team. Charles is able to one-shot the first round with his skill 3. These monsters are a little bit weaker than the Golem monsters. Wyvern comes and does her skill 2. Charles does his skill 2. We go into the mini Banshee round, but Lilibet is able to kill off 2 of the Banshees with her second skill into her third skill because she gets the extra turn. It's just one shot, one kill for all of these Banshees. We go back to the big Banshee. Looks like we got the Banshee's curse on us, but that's not a problem. Even when the curse activates, we're still pretty healthy. No fear of failing. And boom, Banshee Hell goes down. And Hell is still important to do. As you can see, you still get Covenant bookmark drops, so it's a nice stamina dump. If you have extra stamina laying around, you get bookmarks. You can also get Sky Stones and also gear if you want gear. So let's do Banshee Otherworldly Hunt. Vivian takes the first turn.
Spell. Destroy all.
So for this run, Charles is able to do skill 3, and Vivian is able to do skill 2, setting up Lilibet for the alley-oop. Lilibet does skill 2 into skill 3. Banshee doesn't get to take a turn, so we don't go into the mini Banshee phase for our Otherworldly Hell Hunt. And we clear just like that. Nice, fast, and efficient. So as you can see, these teams are very optimized to do both Hell and Otherworldly Hunt as needed, without swapping gear, without any headache of changing artifacts. Both the Hell run and the Otherworldly run are stable and pretty quick. Moving on to Azimanak Hell Hunt, let me just buy a couple more Spectral Cores and get rid of some equipment so I could show you how this works with the same 7 units that we've been using all along. Vivian's going to go first here, put up immunity and attack buff for everyone.
Answer my call.
For King Iker, I would give my life.
Maybe if Charles has max Symbol of Unity, he could clear the first wave just fine, but I don't have a max one, so that's okay. So what's nice here is that when Charles gets attacked here by the boss, he does a nice big chunk of damage in the first part because the boss doesn't get the special defense buff when the eggs are there, because the buff comes after the attack, and Charles is able to counter attack and do some extra damage before that point. So nice little run here for Azimanak Hell. And then we're going to keep the same team, go to Azimanak Otherworldly Hunt. So here we get bleeds on us, but the bleeds are not going to be enough to kill our team. An argument can be made to swap out Vivian's exclusive equipment for the exclusive equipment that dispels some debuffs if you're really concerned about maybe dying, but I haven't died yet, and I'm taking bleed damage from the boss, so I think it's an unnecessary step. And the point of this video is to show you that with this build and these units, you can also clear all of the PvE hunt content without the headache of swapping gear all the time or switching artifacts around. You could reserve that for when you're doing guild war battles or arena, where it's more important to have the perfect setup for varying defenses. Okay, none of this gear is useful. We're just going to sell it all. 4 hunts down, one last one to go. Caides is the one that takes the longest, but it is still stable. We're going to use Conqueror Lilius, Ken, Lilibet, and Sigrid. This is kind of a mix of all the other teams that we have used, some from Wyvern, some from Golem. Conqueror Lilius is still fast enough at 241 speed to outspeed this monster here in the first round of Caides Hell. She puts up Vigor buff and Defense break. Huge damage. We almost killed the boss in one swipe. What's nice is that Lilibet finishes the boss with her skill 2, saving skill 3 for the final Caides boss. Into round 2 we go. We do land a lot of debuffs on this boss, but it's fine. The purpose of this video and this showcase is just to show you that you can build these units and just basically forget about them. They will satisfy everything that you need for PvE when it comes to Hunt Hell and Otherworldly Hunt. This really takes the headache out of rebuilding and regearing. I like to make PvE as easy as possible, as you have seen from my other videos. I really like auto teams. I really like optimizing for efficiency and no headache, so that I could use the rest of my time playing the game how I want, focusing on guild wars.
Understood. Scar those in our way with destruction and fear. Focus.
And Caides Hell goes down. Let's use the very same team. Sell this gear. Head over to Caides Otherworldly Hunt. and start our final run. So for the Caides Otherworldly hunt,
All that you have
same thing
for the glory
for
of
this fight.
Golem.
Just go in, auto your way through, and wait for Caides to go down. Whether you fight the first round doesn't really matter, because this team is optimized to clear both Caides' Hell and Caides' Otherworldly hunt.
This is it.
The units are optimized so that
Disappear.
the damage that the boss does when he selects who to attack is spread through the units. So it's never going to be just one unit taking all the damage. And if that unit happens to be anyone, it is typically Ken, because he has speed buff, so he takes more turns. But regardless, we still clear with no problem.
The time has
And boom, just like that, Caides' Otherworldly hunt is done. Let's sell this purple gear. See if we got anything good for the red gear. So we got speed, we have a torrent helmet. This could probably be used for a defense scaling damage unit on torrent. It doesn't have speed. I think I'm going to keep it for a rainy day. Maybe there will be a character that I get down the line that can use it. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this video. We have done all 5 Hell hunts and all 5 Otherworldly hunts using only 7 units. I repeat, 7 units to do all of that content, which is very efficient. If you don't happen to have Ken or Lilibet as a new player, then I would recommend that you get them and put them in your wishlist summons. If you happen to not get a selector, or you use your selector for someone else, you could always come in here and put in the units in this video to summon them. Do like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Hope this helps you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.